Basketball fans, welcome back. So, coming off the game where we saw FUS Rabat with that upset victory against the Petro de Luanda team, in this game in particular, Cape Town Tigers versus Dynamo. Dynamo are first timers in the BAL. Cape Town Tigers, I believe this is their third time in the BAL, and they got upset in their first game, 86-73. So let's just talk about this. So Dynamo right out the gate, they just came in with that FUS the Rabat game plan, and they just put their foot down on there, because finishing that game with 86 points, they had 21. They dished out 21 assists, 12 steals, had 39 total boards, and you can see the field goals attempted, but they had more of them with 67, and field goals made with 35. So you can see the Dynamo team were just going out there and just leaving it all on the line, and they never left anything to chance. And they were able to come out with this game, and they were able to just come out and just win it all through. And one thing that I was keen on was just seeing how were the Cape Town Tigers going to how are they going to respond, because they expected to defend home court. This is their home turf in Pretoria, and looking at the way the tempo of the game and the new conference, how are they going to level up to the pressure? But the Dynamo team were just there to win the game, despite the fact that they had like a very controversial thing that they did in this game that I hardly noticed. So they put some tape on their jerseys where it was written "Visit Rwanda." It was so controversial to the point where they had to forfeit their game. They had to forfeit their game today against FUS de Rabat today. And as per recording this video, this game was listed as a forfeit, and they lost it by default. And with that, you could see the Cape Town Tigers, even as per recording this video, they lost their game against Petro de Luanda, and right now they're just, they're just down bad right now, because after losing to Dynamo and losing to Petro de Luanda, it just looks bleak for them. They might not be able to make the playoffs if they continue like this, but they'll have another shot at both these two teams as they're going to play two times. But given like the way they looked in this Dynamo game, the Cape Town Tigers did not look like they were the same team that qualified for the BAL years prior, because when you look at even the feel for the game, they looked like they were unsynchronized. I know there was a couple of roster changes in there, but looking at the way they played, it wasn't there was no one thing that you can say that you can look at and you're impressed with. So hopefully they can be able to fix it around when they play their third game, because after they have played their first and second games, things are not looking good for them at all. And if they don't fix up very well, they might not be able to like notch and make the playoffs and be able to like proceed, because even when it came to like the turnovers, you can see the turnover bug just kept creeping in with 17 turnovers. They only had they only had 9 3 points made, but that was actually a good thing, because if you look at the Dynamo team, they only had 4 3 pointers made. They led in free throw percentage because they were able to like go ahead and make the free throws, but they shot a high percentage, but they didn't make as frequent trips like that. But when it came to their field goal percentage, it was actually quite low, and majority of the stats were being dominated by the Dynamo team, especially when it came to free throw attempts, points. We had two players who had 20 points and more. We had Otobo and Hobbs from the Dynamo team. They had 21 points and 20 points respectively. We had Abok Deng from Dynamo. He had 18 points, defensive rebounds. It was just an all-out Dynamo affair. Even in minutes played, there's M. Williams from Dynamo. He played all minutes. He played all 40 minutes. And you can see like there was a lot of determination and grit and grind, especially when it came to the Dynamo team. And they're not leaving anything to chance and they made sure to win their first game. And this was actually a very weird thing. Even I mentioned it earlier in the previous video. Looking at the way Petro de Luanda and Cape Town Tigers looked in the first game, in the first games for the BAL Season 4, it just looked very weird to see veteran teams that have already been the BL, get upset like that in the first game. But it's in basketball, any team can be able to win any given game. It only depends on how they respond. And you could see the Cape Town Tigers, they're yet to respond and win a game. But when you look at the Petro de Luanda team, they were able to bounce back and were able to get a win of their own. So as per recording of this video, the Cape Town Tigers are down 0-2 and they've lost to the Dynamo team as per recording of this video. And in the next video I'm going to make, they are going to lose. They're going to lose, but they already lost to the Petro de Luanda team. So I'll make that another video talking about that. But my God, hopefully they're able to like change up and be able to like fix up so that they can be able to like be in a position where they can be able to notch a playoff spot. So if you guys like the video, make sure to leave your feedback down in the comments on what you think about this. Yeah, man. Hopefully the Cape Town Tigers can be able to defend home court.